So I got laid off yesterday. It's been 24 hours now.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about a lot of people have been laid off before the holidays. So I put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back sharing my true sense.
So I got laid off yesterday. It's been 24 hours now, and I'm still trying to process the whole thing. I didn't see this coming. We've had layoffs kind of in a couple waves over the past year. My team and I even have joked over the past few months that we're safe, right? Well, apparently not, and apparently I was on the cutting block this time. I'm hoping to make this page a bit of just an everyday diary of my life, what I'm going through unemployed, as well as something I've wanted to do for years that now I guess I have the time to do, is talk about and dive in a little bit more to home design and interior design, which is something I love. I'm really excited to take you along on that journey of renovating our 1980s DIY handyman special. Welcome, and I hope you'll follow along.
Almost to Christmas, and I got a call from my job that I've been with for almost 3 years telling me that I was being let go and that the shift that I had worked previously would be my last shift with them. A lot of people got let go right before Christmas. Off that phone call, and I definitely cried a lot. I'm a single mom to my 2 boys, so I support them. I have 2 jobs. One of my jobs I use to buy them food, and the other job I use to put a roof over our head. That just so happened to be the job that I use to pay rent. So I will be scrambling this close to Christmas to figure out how I'm going to handle that. I'm going to handle that obviously because when you're a mom, you don't have an option.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we are here. So Caroline, thank you for meeting us with us today. As it's shared today at the staff meeting, we are meeting with those who are most directly impacted by this restructuring decision. Unfortunately, your position is one that is being eliminated. I want to recognize how challenging this news might be. Please know that this decision is no way a reflection of your effort, the impact you've had. You have been a vital part of our team, and I deeply appreciate your hard work, dedication, and commitment. I know there's a lot to process, and it's a difficult situation for all of us. Please know that I'm here to support you through the transition in any way I can. I'm here to provide you with additional information on next steps, so I'll turn it over to her to share more details.
Okay. Hey, Caroline. Okay, I'm going to share some info with you. And you might, if you want to, you can write it down.
Oh, I'm recording this.
So, what was that?
I'm recording this.
Okay. So we've put a package together for you. With our changes, you'll be paid through the end of the week. So if you don't do anything at all, you'll still be paid through the end of the week. You have the option of staying through the end of the month if you sign what's called a transition of duties letter, and I'll get into the details of that in just a minute. And you can also keep your monitor and your keyboard and all of that kind of stuff. We would just need the laptop back. You decide tomorrow that you don't want to stick around to the end of December, you'll receive that package tomorrow, and you'll be paid through the end of the week. And then you'll have time to go through that package. If you want to stay longer, then you'll receive the package at the end of December, and then you'll have time through January to figure out if you want to accept it or not. You'll have until 2 p.m. tomorrow to say what you want to do. So that's basically you declaring, I want to just get my stuff now, or I want to stay through the end of the month. So that's what that transition of duties letter is for. Any questions about all of that, the nuts and bolts stuff?
I understand this news comes with a lot of emotions. and you need time to process this information, please feel free to take the rest of the day off today. Or if you like to talk with me or talk to your manager, we are here. And any other question you have now? Okay.
This was... I am so disappointed.
I got laid off from my corporate job that I've had for the last 2 years, and I've had a few days to process it now, so let's talk about it. So I worked as a recruiter, and I was one of many people that got laid off, and it was sad because I really did like my job. Like, I loved my team, I liked what I did day to day, so now I'm kind of in this limbo of what do I do next? I mean, most people naturally, they get laid off and they immediately start looking for new jobs, and that's what people keep asking me, like, are you interviewing yet? Do you need like connections? Do you want resume help? Like all that stuff. But hot, kind of controversial take is I am just gonna take some time off. And I know that sounds crazy, but I am 24 years old. I've been saving for literally my whole life, so I'm prepared for this. And I make extra income on the side through TikTok, so it's not like I'm just sitting around doing nothing. And honestly, like, it sounds really selfish, but like if I have the means to, why not? Like, why not just chill for a few months and see where it takes me? I think Gen Z has really realized that like working a corporate job that you're not passionate about for the rest of your life is just really, really depressing. And I feel like I kind of had this opportunity given to me, so I'm just gonna see where it goes, like take some time to figure out my life. Like, what do I want to do? Like, follow some passions. I don't know. I literally have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna figure it out. Point is, right now I'm young. I don't have kids, a house, a mortgage. I don't really have anything depending on me, so right now is probably the best and only time I'll have to do this.
I have not been sleeping well since I got laid off 2 months ago. I don't know if it's just me. I really don't. I have been so stressed and overwhelmed the last month as I've been trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing next with my life, that I just have not been sleeping great, like at all. Like, I know that that's a really big part of stress, and like everyone has different kind of patterns when it comes to their sleep and, you know, how it ties to their behavior in their life. But no one ever talks about the fact that when you're unemployed, there's so much stress going on in your head all the time about money all the time that it's hard to sleep. So like, I woke up last night at 5 a.m. to bring my partner downstairs because he fell asleep up here on the couch. It happens. I was just wanting him to be in bed with me, so I brought him back downstairs and I went to go fall back asleep, and I just couldn't. And then eventually when I did for like 20 minutes fall asleep, I had a nightmare. Money stress is unlike any other stress ever. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Screw capitalism.
Spirit Airlines doing budget cuts and layoffs right around the holidays is absolutely nasty work. Dare I say that pilots and flight attendants have some of the hardest jobs in the world, because you literally have people's lives in your hands. And as someone who has faced the layoff before and budget cuts, I know for me, morale goes down the drain. Like, I don't want to work for you, and I damn sure don't want to work hard when you are taking money out of my pockets. And as a budget baddie myself, I love Spirit Airlines. I actually just booked a flight with them the other day to go to Cancun. And I also fear that this won't be the only airline that will either file bankruptcy or start having layoffs and budget cuts as well. So what does that mean for you, especially around the holidays? Either you won't get to travel and go see your family, or you'll be scared about getting on the flight. When you do get on the flight, potentially more issues, delays, cancellations, everything. Also, what this means is we're going to have even more people entering the workforce. So I don't know, child. It's looking real ghetto and dusty in America as always. But who do y'all fly with? Because Delta and American, even Southwest flights be a little bit high for me.
I don't know if y'all have seen this, but yesterday Amazon laid off 14,000 people. Why? Because AI, y'all. AI is literally taking over, and they want to be the first startup of a fully operated service. Where does that leave the people, 14,000 people, who came to work, who punched in their clock, who did all the things? Where does that leave them and their family? The first thought that came to my mind is, do they have a cushion? Do they have an emergency fund? What are they going to do It's the holiday season, y'all. 14,000 people are scrambling to find another job. This is why you need to start learning how to make income from your phone. This is why you need to start getting in this digital era, y'all. AI is literally taking over. Okay? Bet on yourself. Don't be relying on these 9-to-5 jobs. I'm not here to tell you to leave your 9-to-5. I'm saying position yourself. Position yourself to be in a place of overflow. If something was to happen to your 9-to-5 job, you are okay. You're not scrambling, y'all. We get in this fright and flight mode because we are forced into situations that we are not prepared for. So if you guys want to learn how you can start generating anywhere from 500 to 1K a day, because it's very possible, guys, comment me below and I'm going to send you my community, guys. We are all getting to the bag, okay? And we're doing it all from our phones 2 to 3 hours a day. That's it. That's all. But this is the time that we are in, guys. This is the time that we are in. And this is crazy. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, this is sad. Like, 14,000 people got to figure it, to freak out on the limb. And I don't want you to be one of them people that get a letter of, I no longer need your services because you were unprepared. Don't let fear of not knowing or not learning a new skill keep you in a messed up situation.
Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Yeah, I've been on back-to-back calls for budget and going over some like new revamped like scorecards for the team. So
Okay.
I appreciate you jumping on last minute though.
Of course.
Yeah. So I wanted to connect with you. So number one, I wanted to say how much, well, as I've been getting up to speed with collections, how much I appreciate you just like continuing to do what you know to do, continuing to own it. And as I get more up to speed with collections, you've not only revamped the process and helped it to become more centralized, but also creating those SOPs. Like those are critical. We have to have those like milestones and set processes. And it looks like you were instrumental in creating, I would venture to guess, most of it, if not all of it. So that has been incredibly helpful to have as a resource. But as we're looking at our collections process going forward, what we've decided to do is bring collections back to the branch level. And so what that means is we're actually going to be winding down our engagement with you so that way we can have the branches own the collections piece going forward. So Ian is going to be working on what that looks like and what that wind down process is. But it was really important for me. I wanted you to hear it from me so that we can have a conversation about it, as opposed to hearing about it from, And so what that wind down period looks like, I'm waiting for Ian to confirm. But I think it's going to be over the next 30 days, we'll be winding down kind of that relationship. So over the next 30 days, I still would love your help in helping with that transition, helping to figure out what that looks like as we start to kind of strip things back and bring it back to the branches.
Okay.
So I'll pause there. Are there any questions that you have?
What does it mean, about my role, the role that I play right now?
So that role, we're going to be ending that engagement because I think it is like a 30-day wind down period. So I'm waiting for Ian to confirm that. But because we are going to be bringing collections back to the branches, there's no longer going to be a place for that centralized.
Okay.
And the work that you've done has been fantastic. I don't want you to take it as anything about you. It's as we're looking at the process and what works best. It seems like what's really best practice is to have the branches own that, since they know all the details of their jobs. They're working with the clients from the first notice of loss all the way through. So it has nothing to do with the work that you've done. Like I said at the beginning, what you've done helping to change a complete process, create those SOPs, and create that structure that's needed for something to really roll out effectively has been top notch. So please don't take it as anything around you. It's what is best for the process going forward.
Okay.
And I wish I had more information on like what are like other contracts that I unfortunately don't know. I don't know a lot about like contract and what they like, how you work with them. So I know that they'll be in touch I'm assuming probably tomorrow afternoon. So like once you kind of hear from them, if you have any questions for me on like next steps for contracts, like we'll have to figure out what that relationship looks like. But I can only speak to, like for now, the wind down period, like I said, I think it's about 30 days. So you'll continue to help to wind things down, close out the current collections process, and start to help transition some of the stuff back to the branches over the next month.
I understand, yeah.
Are there any other questions that you have for me? Anything you want to talk through? Like I said, I want to make sure it's like headline here, crystal clear. It has nothing to do with your work product. It's just looking at what that process should look like going forward.
No, yeah, I get it. I totally understand that. I think that one question that comes to my mind is just if I'm not gonna be the one, doing, for, Kingwood, Stanford, blah blah blah. Do you think that I'm still gonna be part of, did you think of me like, taking another role, or what was it gonna look like?
So there is no longer the like role or relationship for your position. As we're looking at the process, we're bringing that back to the branches. For now, I don't see like necessarily a place for like another person outside the branch to help with. So for right now, I don't see where that role would, like, I don't see a future role.
Okay, I get it.
And like I said, it has nothing to do with your work performance. It just has to do with what processes are going to work best for the team.
Okay.
And like I said, I know that you had aspirations around getting into, like beyond getting into financial services, things like that. So if you're okay with it, I'll continue to kind of keep in mind as we continue to grow and figure out like other processes and what best looks like. You know the brand, you know the kind of players, you know the industry. So if you're okay with it, I'd love to kind of keep you in mind for that. But for right now, I don't see a role like that as like at this time frame.
Makes sense. Okay.
And like I said, I think they should be in touch tomorrow. And if you talk to them and you have any additional questions for me, like we can talk through. Like I said, I don't know a ton around what their process looks like, so I wish I could be more helpful there. But like from my perspective, over the next 30 days, we'll continue to work very closely with figuring out what process needs to go to the branches, by when, things like that.
Oh, okay, got it.
But my number one goal is that you heard it from me. I didn't want you to hear it from Agent 007 or anything like that.
No, yeah, I appreciate you, taking the time and letting me know. I'm just confused in regards to the role that I play right now is no longer, gonna be active or whatever. That's it. My relationship with the ends here. You don't see another position that I could fill in. You don't see my taking on or continue to be part of, you don't see that right now.
At this point in time, I don't see a role where that makes sense. I don't see that need right now for a role. We're not expanding into new roles. It's not as though this role is going to we're not creating a new position or role either in finance or simply just having the branches own the keys. So right now we're not growing and expanding corporate roles. It's just we're taking this process and tucking it back to the branches.
All right. Okay.
So are there any other questions that you have for me? Anything that you wanted to talk through, Jose?
No, I'm just unsurprised. That's all.
Okay. And like I said, it has nothing to do with your work. It's just when we look at what makes sense to be something that we're really strong in and that we're continuing to get the aging down and whatnot, having that be something that's part of the branch activity makes sense for us going forward for that process. So I want to make sure that you take away, it has nothing to do with the work that you've done, those SOPs that you've created, revamping the process, creating those compliance tasks. Those are all critical and have been top notch. Like I said, it's just looking at the process, figuring out what makes sense. This is a decision that we've decided to make.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so like I said, I think that should be in touch tomorrow. If you don't hear anything from them, you can let me know and I'll make sure, hey, you had a chance to talk to them and whatnot. But once you talk to them, we can jump on a call to figure out okay, what's that transition plan look like? Because I think that the period is 30 days. So I'm waiting for confirmation from that, but like I said, I really wanted you to hear it from me first.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. And as you, are continuing on, like I said, I still really would appreciate your help in
Of
not
course,
just the
yeah.
work that you're doing, but okay, how do we effectively transition this out? I don't know all the ins and outs yet, but as you are working through your daily processes, if you can kind of think through, oh yeah, we would need to transition this. I know I would really appreciate your support with that. I know the branches would as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Great. And yeah, as we get closer to that like wind down time frame, if there's anything I can be helpful with for you in terms of your career, please keep me posted. I want to make sure that like we're all here to support you as well. So if there's any questions you have, or if you want to talk through like I don't know all the ins and outs of like there's other contracts out there, but if I can be helpful in any way, please reuse me as a resource.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna keep your mind. Thank you for saying that.
Of course, yeah. All right, Jose, if you have any other questions, happy to talk through them. And it's not like, okay, you have your questions now and there's no more. So if you're thinking about it later or tomorrow, you want to jump on a call, just let me know.
All right, I'm gonna let you know as soon as someone from the agents he reaches me out so that I can get to know more about what was going on. But yeah, I'm gonna keep you posted.
Okay. Thank you, Jose. I really appreciate that, and also all the work that you've done in helping me get up to speed with figuring out what's going on, what makes sense. So I really appreciate your support there.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. All right, Jose. If anything else comes up, I'm always here. But yeah, just keep me posted for how I can be helpful.
All righty. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks, Jose. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's a video, so I'm just here just to add on like what I think about today's video. So we are talking about a lot of people have been laid off before the holidays. Being laid off before the holiday season is different thing. It's not just about losing a job, it's about losing a stability at the very moment when the world expects you to be happy, generous, and full of celebration. The lights are going up, people are planning trips, families are budgeting for food and gifts, and then suddenly your income disappear. The timing feels cruel, almost personal, even though it's often blamed on budget restructuring or economic pressure. For many workers, this moment marks the most stressful period of their entire life. What makes holiday layoff especially painful is the emotional contrast. Everywhere you turn, there's a messaging about joy, gratitude, and togetherness. Ads show smiling families around food tables. Social media is filled with people sharing shopping hauls and travels plans. Okay. Meanwhile, the layoff worker is silently calculating to stretch what little they have left. The gap between what you are supposed to feel and what you actually feel creates shame, isolation, and deep anxiety. Guys, many people who are laid off before the holiday do not just lose a paycheck, they lost their sense of identity. Work is more than income, it's a routine, purpose, and proof that you're contributing. When that is taken away suddenly, especially without warning, it can shake your confidence. People begin to question their worth, replaying meetings and conversations, wondering what they did wrong, even when the decision had nothing to do with performance. There's also the fear of disappointing others. Parents worry about their children, partners worry about becoming a burden. Some people feel embarrassed to tell their families, especially during a season where everyone expects good news. So they smile through gatherings while carrying heavy stress inside. They laugh at jokes while wondering how long their savings will last. This silent suffering is far more common than people realize. Holiday layoff often expose how fragile many workers' lives truly are. A lot of people are just one paycheck away from crisis. Rate does not pause for holidays. Usually do not care about festive season. Food prices often rise during this time, making things even harder. When job ends suddenly, there is a rare enough time to prepare. Severance is not guaranteed, support systems are often weak, and the pressure hit fast. Another painful layer is how companies often handle these layoffs. Some people are informed through quick meetings or short emails with little empathy. Others are told that, unfortunately, as if timing could ever make a job loss easy. People are being laid off right before the holiday, send a message that profit and planning mattered more than human dignity. That realization stay with workers long after the season ends. The mental health impact cannot be ignored. Okay, anxiety increases, sleep becomes difficult, thoughts goes up. Some people feel panic every time their phone vibrate, hoping it's good news but expecting more rejection. Depression can creep in quietly, especially when job applications go unanswered. During a season that emphasizes happiness, feeling low can make someone feel broken or ungrateful, even though the rejection or the reaction completely valid. There's also anger at companies that posted record profit, anger at leadership bonuses, and anger at systems that treat workers as disposable. For many people, being laid off before the holidays permanently change how they view loyalty and hard work. They realize that dedication does not always equal security. The lesson is harsh, but it's one of the many workers are forecast to learn the hard way. Yet, despite this pain, many people who are laid off during the holiday show incredible resiliency. They adapt even when they are scared. They look for temporary work. They lean on community. They find creative ways to survive. This resilience is talked about enough. Society often praises success but ignores survival. Making it through this season without giving up is an achievement. Some people use these false pauses to reevaluate their lives. They reflect on jobs that drain them, workplace that ignore their well-being, and dreams that postponed it. One chooses to be laid off. Some people realize that job they lost was costing them more than it paid. That realization does not erase the struggle, but it can open the doors something better in future. So it's important to say this clearly. Being laid off before the holiday is not a personal failure. It's often a systematic issue. Economic shift, poor leadership decision, and corporate greedy play a huge role. Workers should not carry shame for decision made for above they pay grade. Losing a job does not mean you lack value, intelligence, or work ethic. If you're watching this and you're currently going through a holiday layoff, your feelings are valid. The fear, the sadness, the frustration, the confusion all make sense. You're not weak for struggling. You're human responding to sudden loss. Give yourself permission to feel without judgment. For those who are not personally affected, this season is a reminder to practice empathy. That coworker who seems withdraw, that friend who declined invitation, the family member who seems stressed, they may be carrying a burden they do not know how to explain. Kindness and patience and understanding can make a real difference. As society, we need to talk more honestly about layoffs, especially during sensitive times. We need better workers' protections, better communication, and more human decision making. Business should be held accountable not just for profit, but for how they treat people during difficult transitions. The holiday should not be time when livelihoods are causing stripped away. So that's the video. Bye.